Do anyone know here what is the meaning of data analysis? Any one of you? What is the meaning of data? What is the meaning of data analysis? Which companies mostly generates the data? And what is the purpose of to becoming a data analyst or a data scientist? And what is the difference between these roles and how they are going to get paid? Okay, so all the things from the scratch, all the things we are going to learn in the introduction part. And also like see, nowadays Python is become very mandatory. Okay, so why we need to learn Python also? What is the use of Python for the data analyst and for the data scientist? And we can say like what is the meaning of machine learning? So all the things which comes under data will be discussing in this section. Okay, so can we start, guys, everyone? Yeah. So first of all, I think a lot of people know like general meaning of data. Okay, so I will be writing everything from the scratch, guys, with a pen in front of you. And also at the end of the section, I will be telling you like where all the materials will be available, how I am going to keep the materials for you, and how you can access the materials directly. So everything I will be explaining you in this section. So first of all, let me tell you like what is the meaning of data. What is the meaning of data generally? So data is nothing but collection of information. Collection of information. Okay. So collection of information. Fine. What is the meaning of information here? Collection means, okay, you are gathering everything. Whatever you need, you are trying to gather everything. So my point is, what is the meaning of collection? What is the meaning of collection? Rahul, I think I'm audible for remaining students. You can just disconnect and come. You can join once again. Information. Yes. So collection of information. Information is nothing but, for example, as a IT person, I will tell you with the real world examples on. With the real world examples. For example, I think 3 years back, I think so, I worked as on a data analyst project for an organization called Apollo. Okay, Apollo Pharmacies. You know, Apollo is one of the biggest hospitals we have in the entire world. Okay, so what projects we will be doing for this Apollo as a data analyst? What projects we can do for this Apollo? Let me tell you clearly. Here itself, you will get to know what is the meaning of data, what is the data science, data analyst, how they are going to get the pay, what is the difference between them, and why the Python comes to picture, everything. Okay, so 1 minute. Yeah. For example, let me take this example. Apollo hospitals. Okay, Apollo hospitals. So generally Apollo hospital want to know whether their pharmacies, I'm not talking about their hospitals, I'm not talking about some other things, I am just talking about pharmacy, only the pharmacy. So Apollo pharmacies are making, first of all, profit or loss? This is the bigger question. Okay, this is the bigger question we will be having. So whether these pharmacies are making profit or loss. If it is a profit means, yes, they are in the safe side and it's a very good one. If it is in the loss side means, what you can do? You tell me. If they are creating some kind of loss, it is going to affect the entire organization. So this is not at all good. But see, if you see, for example, we are from Hyderabad. So in Hyderabad itself, how many Apollo pharmacies are there? How many Apollo pharmacies are there? In Chennai, okay, in Bangalore, in Mumbai, in Delhi, if you see any location, If you see any location in major cities, there will be lot of Apollo pharmacies. So now the game starts. Now generally what happens is, he is the person. Okay. He is the Apollo. He is our client. The person who is giving the project is known as an client. So Apollo Pharmacy is our client. Apollo Pharmacy want to know whether they are doing the profits or losses. Whether they are going to, whether they are doing profit or whether they are doing the loss. They want to have a clear idea. Okay. So he is the client. He is the client. Okay. He is the client. He is giving the project. The client is giving the project. For example, now currently I am working in one of the best AI company, ENY. So this is my currently working company. This client has given the project to this particular company. Okay. Apollo Pharmacy is the client, has given the project to ENY. Okay. Now what ENY will do? What this company will do? You tell me, according to your knowledge till now, whatever you have, what this ENY company will do? Anyone? Once we are getting the project, client has given the project to some software company and the company name is ENY. ENY, for example, or else you can take it as a Google, which is a very familiar company for all of you. Let's take Google. Okay, Google, Infosys, Capgemini, or whatever it might. So client has given the project to the Google. What project they have given? What project they have given? The question is what they have given. Client has given the project to the Google, saying that find our Apollo, find our Apollo pharmacies. Our Apollo pharmacy is in profit or loss. Is in profit or loss. This is a single question they have given to the Google company. Now what the Google company will do? What the Google company will do? Imagine the budget. The budget is 1 crore. Okay. The budget is 1 crore. So 1 crore money along with the project the client has given to the Google. So now what this Google company will do generally? What this Google company will do? Immediately the company starts hiring the candidates. Okay. The company starts hiring the candidates. What candidates they will hire? The people who are required for this particular job. Those candidates will be hired. Those candidates will be hired. So obviously, to know whether the pharmacy is in the profit side or whether it is in the loss side, we need data related people. What candidates we need? What candidates we need? Data related people. Okay, data related people, which means the people, the candidates who knows data science, who knows statistical analysis, who knows data analyst roles, and also AI engineers. Okay, so those candidates we will hire. Those candidates we will hire. Okay, okay, fine. 15 candidates. 15 candidates Google company hired. Okay, 15. So 5 candidates were data engineers. Okay. Okay, 5 candidates were data engineers. 5 candidates were data analysts. Okay. And 5 candidates were data scientists. I will tell you what exactly they will do in the office. Okay. What exactly they will do. Okay. So Google has hired 15 candidates. So 5 from the data engineers, 5 from the data analyst, and 5 from the data scientist roles. Fine. Now what is the next step? Guys, hiring completed. Hiring completed. Can anyone guess what will be the next step? Immediately, a roadmap. A roadmap, which is known as a project documentation. Project documentation. What is the meaning of project documentation? What we have to do exactly, how we can deliver the best project to this particular client. So now you will get to know why you are here, first of all, because every student in nowadays, they are learning the data analyst. They're really learning the data analyst, but they don't know why they are learning, what they are going to do in the company exactly. So I will clear all your doubts here. See, very simple. Here is the Apollo client, because this client has given the project to the Google company. This is the Google company. Okay, this is Google. He is the client. He has given the project. Fine. It is fine till here. Now the question is, immediately to start the project, what we need? Points to be needed. What are the things we needed? First one, data. Here comes the question. First one, data. We need data, because if you see here, Apollo person is giving you the project and he wants to know whether the Apollo pharmacy is in profits or loss. But how you will know? If you are doing a project means, how can you verify that it is in a profit side or whether it is in a loss side? By looking at the Apollo shop, you can't say, you can't tell directly. It is impossible. So there we need data. So now comes to picture. What data you need? What data? Okay, data is fine. What data is needed? For example, as a data analyst, what I will do is generally, last 5 years data I will collect. Last 5 years Apollo pharmacy. Okay, last 5 years Apollo pharmacy all over India. Each patient data I will collect. Because if you see, if you go to the Apollo pharmacies anytime, everything will be available in the computers. All the data will be recorded in the computer. No, obviously we can ask the client directly to give the data. Okay, so as a Google company, as one of the reputed high company in India, in the entire world, I will ask the Apollo pharmacy, I mean he's the client, no, so I will directly ask him, hey, please give the data. Last 5 years, each patient's data, please give me. Now my question for all of you is, will the client gives the data for you? If you ask the data, Google company is asking the data, yes, I will do the project for you, but I need the data. If the Google company asks, do the client gives the data? Do the client gives the data to the office? Either is saying no. Okay. Any other people? Do the client gives the data? No. Exactly no. The client will give you the project and the client will give you budget. Simple. He will not give you anything. Okay, he will not give you anything. At least 1%'s patient's data also the client will not give you. Now my question for you is, then how you are going to collect the data? Okay, what is the data here? What data, sir, you are talking? See, last 5 years patient's data means one patient data I will write. For example, I am the person. For example, my name is Kamal. Okay, I visited the Apollo pharmacy on 16th November time in the morning 8:30. Okay, I purchased something like, so all the data clearly. So I purchased from paracetamol tablet. Okay, paracetamol tablet, and the cost is 16 rupees. Okay, the cost is 16 rupees, and I paid through phone pay. I make the payment through phone pay, and I have taken the receipt. Okay, I have taken the receipt. So all this kind of data, this is one patient, patient data, or else you can say visitor, customer data, whatever you want, you can say it. Second one, some other person, some other person. Imagine how much data per day India wide. Lot of people will visit the Apollo pharmacy and they will buy the things whatever they need. But imagine 5 years data means such a huge data, such a huge data. Huge data is known as an big data. Lot of students still confuse what is the difference between data and a big data. Okay, very simple logic. If you have the patients, 10 patients data, 10 patients data, if you have, you call them as a data, small data or a sample data, very less data. So used to say in this kind of terminology. But big data means 10 crore patients data, 10 crore patients data, which is nothing but a big data. The data which is beyond the point. Beyond the point is known as an big data. That is a small difference and the most interview point question also. The difference between data and a big data. Now the question is, client is not going to give you the data, but I need the data to start the project. What I have to do? As I told you here, for this particular project, I have hired 5 data engineers, 5 data analysts, and 5 data scientists. So now comes the hero, the Avenger, data engineer. Data engineer. So he is the person. Data engineers. I'm just writing one person image here. Okay. Data engineers. What these data engineers will do? What these data engineers will do? First of all, client is not giving the data. So what this data engineer will do? Data engineer will keep the mail request. Some kind of request they will keep in the mail saying that you are not giving the data for us and you want the project. So that is not possible. Without data, it is not possible. So what this data engineer will do? This data engineer will ask the permission of their database. Will ask the permission of their database. Can anyone tell me what is the main difference between the data and the database? Anyone? What is the main difference between, if you have any idea only? Okay, I'm not putting direct questions. What is the main difference between the data and the database? Very simple. Okay, I will explain you. Okay, so we'll go in a flow, everything. Okay, everything I will explain you clearly. The person, client is not giving the data, so data engineers is asking the permission for database. My question here is, what is the database? I will explain you. I will explain you, no worries. Database. Okay. Anand, who those are eligible for this course? Everyone is eligible for this course because data can be understandable by every person. Okay. Database. Database is nothing but the place where data is going to store. The place where data is going to store is known as an database. Okay. Fine. The place where the data is going to store, it is the database. Okay, sir. What is like the definition is very good. Fine. But what is the actual meaning of it? What is the actual meaning? For example, if you see here, mobile memory card, memory card. I think lot of people knows about this one. Okay, this kind of memory card, lot of people used to use this long back. Now in nowadays the memory is coming inbuilt, but I think lot of people knows about it. What exactly this does? If you understand this logic, you will understand the database very clearly. Let me do one thing for better explanation purpose. I will use the image also. Okay. Okay. See, you have a mobile. In the mobile, you are keeping this particular memory card. Whatever the photos that you have take, whatever the videos that you are taking, okay, whatever, anything, images, videos, movies, or whatever you are taking will be stored in this particular memory card only. This is mobile. Or the images, you can say images, you can say movies, songs, right, whatever that are there in your mobile, everything is going to store in this particular memory card only. Okay, in the memory card. So this is the database. This is the database for this mobile. That's what I'm trying to say. This memory card is nothing but is the database for this particular mobile, because the mobile data, whatever the data that is there in the mobile, is going to store in this memory card. That's why it is the database. It is the database. Very simple here also. But Apollo pharmacies are very big. Okay, there are almost thousands of pharmacies in the entire India. So this 2 GB, 5 GB memory card won't sufficient for them. They are not at all sufficient. So they need a bigger one. Okay, they need a bigger one. Let's say 10,000 GB memory card. So high space is nothing but a database. So Apollo Pharmacy will be also having their own databases. Their own database. For example, imagine this is the memory card. For a simple understanding, this is one memory card. The storage is 10,000 GB. Okay, which is very big. So all the Apollo Pharmacy data I will be saving in this database. Now as a data engineer, I am asking this client to give me, the access for this particular database. Why? Because if they have give the access for this database, means all the patients data from the last 5 years I can collect. So obviously the client will give you the access. So now what data engineers will do? Data engineer will, who is the data engineer here? What is the role of the data engineer? Who is the data engineer? Data engineer is the person who collects the data. Okay, who collects the data for the project which is required. So you want to collect the Apollo pharmacy data, but you collect some other pharmacy data, means it is illogical. Okay, based upon the project, the data engineer need to collect the data. So do you know the packages of these data engineers in the current world? These people are very much high paid, because the work that is going to done by the data engineers is remarkable. Okay, it is very heavy task. Okay, it is not a easy task to collect the data from some other sources. Imagine Apollo client is not giving you the data, and he is also not giving the access for the database. Then how this person will get the data? Can anyone tell me? My question is, client is not giving the data for you directly. Patient's data is not giving, and he is also not giving the access for the database. Then how, as a data engineer, how can I get the data? How can I get the data? I need the project. I need the data compulsory, but he is not giving access. What can I do as a data engineer? How many of you know about VPN? VPN, virtual private networks. Okay. So VPN is nothing but, if you are working in Hyderabad, you can make it like that you are working in America, changing the network. So by changing the network portals, by changing the accesses, from making like from some other locations, the data engineer will break their head, will do some kind of all the task. At any cost, they will bring the data, Apollo pharmacy data. They will be using the REST API calls. They will be fetching the data using multiple tools. They might use the VPNs to crack the data. So anything they will do, but they will get the data. They will get the data. So he is the one of the high paid jobs in the market. So finally, the data engineer will get the data. Okay, so we have the data finally. We have, don't worry, in this course, basically it is a data analyst course, but at the end of this course, I will tell you how can we collect the data from the other companies. For example, let's say Flipkart. Okay, for example, Flipkart. In the Flipkart, let me show you like mobiles. Mobiles. See, lot of mobiles are there here. Lot of mobiles are there. Okay, so at the end of this course, I will show you like how. So Flipkart is another company. Yes or no? You tell me. Flipkart is definitely some other company, but using the data engineer techniques, using the techniques, whatever the data engineer knows, using the techniques, I will also tell you how to collect the information, how to collect the data of each and every mobile, how to collect the data also. I will explain in this project. Okay. So these also we will learn at the end, like some part, how to collect the data from some other companies, because Flipkart is some other company, will can't get the data also. I will explain you. No worries in that. So this is the work of the data engineer. Data engineer is the person who will get the data from some other sources, and okay, he is getting the data. Where he will keep the data, guys? You tell me. Data engineer is collecting the data. He collected the data. Might be directly, indirectly, doesn't matter. My question is where he will keep the data. Can anyone guess? In the database. Yes, he is going to keep the data in the database. In which database? Guys, you tell me now. In which database he is going to keep the data? In Apollo database he is going to keep, or in the company database? In the company database. Yes, very good. Very good. So he is the person. So he's the person, he collected the data from different sources. Okay. Directly or indirectly, doesn't matter. So he will imagine this is the company database. Database. Data engineer will collect the data. He will keep the data into this database. Insert. Inserting the data into this database. Fine. Fine. Okay. Data is there. Finally, we got the data from our data engineers. The major task is completed. The major task is completed. What is the next task? What is the next task? What is the thing that Apollo Pharmacy is expecting? What Apollo Pharmacy is expecting? They want to know that Apollo Pharmacies are in the profits or they are in the loss. Simple agenda. So now you tell me, to say that company is in the profits or loss, you need to analyze the data. Okay, you need to analyze the data. First, analyze the data. First, analyze the data, then decide. Then decide. Without analyzing, you can't say it is a very bad. It is running very. I mean, what do you say? In the loss, they are running. The company is getting more profit. So profit loss by looking at the data, you can't say. You need to analyze the data, then decide. Then decide whether it is profit or whether it is loss. Okay, whether it is profit or whether it is loss. Now the question is, you need to analyze the data. Now tell me, who is the person that analyzing the data? Who is the person who analyze the data? It's nothing but data analyst. Data analyst. Data analyst will analyze the data. Analyze the data. Okay, is the data analyst. Yes, data analyst is a person. He will analyze the data. So data analyst will collect the data from the database. He will collect, because in the database we have the data which is inserted by the data engineers. So as a data analyst, I will collect the data from the database. Okay, I will collect the data from the database. Next, what I will do? As a data analyst, I will analyze. So here comes. This is your job. How you are going to analyze the data? What are the factors that is needed? Okay. Roadmap. Then about the data scientist will do. I will explain you, Imran. Once completing analyst, the work of the data scientist will start. I will explain you. Roadmap to become perfect data analyst. Okay, roadmap to become a perfect data analyst. So the question is, if there is a data, first of all, for better understanding about the data, you need to learn Python. You need to learn Python. Why, sir? Why we need to learn Python? The one of the most, what do you say, like curiosity question lot of students will have. Why we need to learn Python? Because using Python, 50% of the data content you can understand. 50% of the data content you can understand. This is the first advantage. Second advantage, if you learn Python, is easy to get the job. So what is the second advantage? Easy to get the job. Why? Because there will be 3 rounds of interview. First round, second round, and the third round. First round will be, in nowadays, you learn any course, doesn't matter. The first round of the interview will be with Python only. Because as a real-time employee, I'm saying that without Python, you can't become a data analyst, because data analyst will also use Python in the company. No option for them. Python is mandatory. Okay. So Python, using Python plus some data analysis tools. Okay, data analysis tools plus Tableau and Tableau Power BI or anything you can say Power BI anything. So using this kind of tools like SQL, Tableau, Power BI, okay, using this all the tools, I will understand the data. I will understand the data. So okay, in the next classes I will tell you completely about Python introduction. What is the like from the 1940 till now, these many years, why Python becomes very famous, why other languages are not become very famous, why if you learn Python only the jobs are coming for you, without Python why the jobs are not at all coming. All the things I will tell you, no worries in that. So first, Python, using Python, using data analysis tools and also using Tableau and Power BI, we will understand the data. We will understand 100% of the data. Okay, using all these things, we will understand the data with 100%. Okay, you understood the data. Then what you will do? Okay, sir, we will learn all these things in the course. And let's say I understood the data using Tableau, using Power BI, using Excel, using SQL, using the tools, everything. I understood the data finally. I understood the data. What I will do? What I have to do? Develop the report. Develop dashboard. Develop dashboard and report for the client. Okay, for the client. Using data analytics, which is best, Python or BI tools? Both are important. You can't say which I is important. Okay, left side on, right side on, both are important. No, here also same story. Okay, so as a data analyst, using these tools, I will understand the data and I will create a dashboard and report for the client. What is the meaning of dashboard here? Those things also I will explain you. Tableau dashboard. So these kind of dashboards, okay, these kind of dashboards, very simple, a clear explanation about their data. Understand my point, guys. A clear graphical explanation about their data, okay, about their data is known as an a dashboard development, is known as a dashboard development. So you will create a dashboard which the client will understand very easily. So whatever the patient's data you collected from the last 5 to 6 years, all the data you will analyze and you will create a this kind of graphical representation and you will submit to the client. You develop the dashboard. Report means like right, in a document format, we will create the report. What are the drawbacks are there? What are the advantages? What are the disadvantages? So all these things I will create a report and the dashboard and I will give this to the client. I will give this to the Apollo client. So see, if you see here what miracles we are doing as a data engineers, we are collecting the data with so he is not given the data, he is not giving the permission for the database, but using some kind of VPN API calls, okay, we will be fetching the data. Data engineer will store the data in the database, okay, because he can't keep in the laptop. How can you keep the data in the laptop? Such a heavy data you can't, your laptop won't sufficient. So a huge database I will save in that particular database. As a data analyst, I will take the data, whatever the things that I learned in the course, I will use all the techniques and finally I will create a dashboard and I will create a report and I will submit to the client. I will submit to the client. Okay. After submitting, what happens? After submitting, what generally happens? The Apollo, the person who has given the project will check this dashboard. Will check this dashboard. How many customers are visiting to the pharmacy? How much averagely they are paying for the product? I mean, for the tablets, and how much how much investment is coming away? How much profits we are having? How much loss we are having? A detailed report you will give, so that the client will get to know whether the pharmacy is in the profits, whether it is in the profits or whether it is in the loss. So this dashboard belongs to some other some other company, so you can't understand this one, but try to take an like an example. Okay, client will see the dashboard and he will get to know whether the Apollo Pharmacy is in profits or loss. Profits or loss. Simple. Simple. This is the work done by the data analyst. This is a work done by the data analyst. Now, okay, sir, data analyst completed. Then what? Is the project completed? No, not at all. This is just the small work we have completed. You analyze the data and you have given the report to the manager or client, whatever it might be. You got to know that company is in the profits or losses. That is fine. That is fine. Guys, understanding me now, everyone? Till here clear, everything? Are you understanding my explanation clearly? Okay. Now, okay. Pharmacy is in the profits. Okay, let's take Apollo Pharmacy is in the profits, for example. For example, whatever the dashboards we created, we can select pharmacy is in the profits. Okay, fine. Now, I told you, whatever the here also I need to change. Whatever the report that data analyst is created, he will save in the database again. He will save in the database. Okay, whatever the data, because here see lot of cleaning will be there. Data cleaning, statistical analysis, data, unwanted data you will be, everything you learn in this course. Unwanted data you will remove, only wanted data you will be focusing on. All the steps you will do it here. Finally, analyze the data, a very good data you will keep in the database. Now comes the hero of the battalion. You can say data scientist, you can say AI engineer, or you can say machine learning engineer, you can say deep learning engineer, NLP engineer, anyone depends upon the data, the role changes. So just we'll take data scientist, the small thing, data scientist. Data scientist will collect this data. What he will do is, generally I'm talking about how the company works, how the project works internally in an IT company. Data analyst is telling that Apollo Pharmacy is in the profits. Apollo Pharmacy, the report he has given to the client is he is in the profits, and the data also available, whatever the data that he worked is available in the database. Now as a data scientist, I will collect this data. Now I will sit like a hardcore person. I will use statistics, I will use mathematics, I will use probability, I will use machine learning algorithms, I will use deep learning algorithms, and a final and a perfect prediction based models will be developed here. Okay, AI. Here is nothing but AI models. Okay, algorithms, you can say predictions, models will be developed. This model we will submit to the client. Okay, we will submit to the client. Okay, so a lot of things are there here. I'm not going depth because there are only 2 to 3 people here about the machine learning data scientist people. Once completing the analysis, but they will be shifted to data scientist. There I will be explaining all the things clearly. As of now, data scientist will collect the data once again from the data analyst. He will verify, he will improve the quality, he will do a lot of analysis. Okay, suppose data analyst is doing 1% of analysis, means data scientist will do 99% of analysis with lot of techniques. Okay, the final report, I mean, they will save the project, they will keep the project in the live. Okay, so that project can be visible for lot of employees. This is common, but finally the project will be submitted to the client. Okay, so this is how the application in the real world works in an IT company. In an IT company. So data, what is the purpose of data engineers? What is the purpose of data analyst? What is the purpose of data scientist? He will just analyze. Once again, I'm telling you, he will just analyze, develop the dashboard and save the data in the database. Data scientist, once again, he will analyze with all the advanced techniques, and again he will develop artificial intelligence on top of it, then he will submit to the client. So this is how the application works in the real time. The salaries for the data engineers, you can expect, like, starting for the freshers I'm talking, you can expect above 5 easily. It depends upon your talent, you can go through 40, 50 also. There are a lot of students who got very high packages in the data engineers. Data analyst, we can get like more than 4.5 in the initial stage. For the data scientist, you can select more than 7 LPA you can get as a data scientist or ML engineer or anything. For the freshers I'm talking about. Okay, this is exactly how the a project works and what is the role of the data analyst in an IT company. Into irrespective of this, he will not do anything. He will not do anything. So he will collect, he will analyze, he will develop the report, and he will submit to the data scientist. Uh, After that, all the work will be taken care by the data scientist itself. Okay, guys, understood now till here, everyone? Now, now the question is, lot of students will ask me, sir, is it important to learn data scientist or is it important to learn data analyst? See, all these three, not only three roles, if you see data engineer, data analyst, data scientist, AI, ML, DL, here almost 6 to 7 roles are there. Any role you can take depends upon the time that you are keeping in front of the notebook. For example, let's say data engineer is really one of the hardest job, I can say that. So if you are very much interested, if you really want to do so much hard work, you can take data engineer. Okay, you want to do a very reasonable work for the company and want to spend some time with the families and with a very good package, a reasonable package and very good package, means you can take data analyst. Okay, so data scientist, AI, this I can say guarantee, like, you won't sleep for years from 4 to in the initial days. For 4 to 5 years, a lot of work you need to do. Okay, so there are a lot of sacrifices will be there, lot of things will be there on the behind. So anyone you can select. Since this is the complete data analysis, we will now focus on this one. What exactly this is needed and how we need to learn them to crack the job. To crack the job, what are the things we need to learn clearly? Can you tell me data analytics creates dashboards, then share report directly client or not? Directly, he will not share with the client. Basically, here I just gave an example. The dashboard will be shared with the manager and the dashboards will be shared with the data scientist, the higher authorities, and they will analyze the data. They will do some kind of improvements by the data scientist. Then those improvements you will be changing in the dashboard. Then you will submit to the client. For example, if you say, for example, as a data analyst, if you say here number is 8,000, for example, patients visit 8,000. After the data scientist has done some improvements on the data and he said like the total patients visits are 18,000. Then you will rearrange them. Okay. You override them and you will correct the dashboard. You will do some improvements on the dashboard and you will submit. Understood? Okay. So this is exactly the the project pipelines, how it works in IIT. Now, okay, for example, how many of you know what is an SQL? Okay, we'll come one by one before directly going to the SQL. We'll come one by one. Okay, let me take this one. Let me draw a line clearly. Shubham is asking, they send model. What is the difference between dashboard and a model? Dashboard means you can see this one, which is a graphical representation, which can be visible and which can be understandable by every person. So, but when coming to model means nothing but algorithm. Okay, the terminology will be different, but model is nothing but an algorithm. What is the meaning of artificial intelligence? Algorithms. So here we will keep the algorithms. Understood, Shubham? Yeah. Now, how we are going to learn this course? Okay, how we are going to learn this course? How and why? This is the most important thing. Why, what we are going to learn and why we are going to learn those things. First one, in this course, first one we are going to learn about, as I told, Python. Python intermediate we will learn. Okay, we will learn Python intermediate. Okay, sorry, let me make second one. Python basic we will learn, Python intermediate we will learn, and also data analysis production level also we are going to learn from the scratch. How I am writing in front of you, in the same way I will be explaining you Python also very clearly. No worries in that. Python basic, Python intermediate, production level Python, which means as a data analyst, how you will work in the in the cloud, in the production. So those concepts also we will be learning. Along with this, the first part we are going to learn Python. These three. Along with this, real project. Real project means I can't keep the names, like lot of people will keep names like real world project, capstone project. I don't know what is the meaning of them, silly reasons, but I'm giving like real project, which means, for example, let's say here is the person. Okay, he is the person. He is having mobile and a WhatsApp number. Okay, WhatsApp number. Okay, so this person, there are in his WhatsApp there are two different groups. One group is sports group. One group is let's say sports, we can say, and education. So there are two different groups in his mobile. So he is the member in this group. Okay, he is the member in this group. In the both the groups he is there. After some days he just removed from the group education. Now this group admin is me. I am the admin. For this group also I am the admin. Okay, for both the groups I am the admin, and he is one of the person who is in the sports group, but he is not in the education group. As a person, as a admin, if I post anything in the WhatsApp group which is sports, can he see the message? Yes or no, you tell me. If I send any photo, image, or any invitation or any message in the sports group, will this person going to get the notification or not? Yes, obviously he is going to get the notification. Obviously is going to get the notification. Same message, if I keep in the education group, will this person will get the notification? Do this person get the notification? Here it is, yes. What about here? Will he get the notification? No. Why? Because he is not the member in the group. Now my question is, I'm just asking you, you tell me, this is how the WhatsApp, this is how the Instagram, any social media is working, yes or no? Let's say YouTube. Yes or no, guys? You tell me. Suppose if I subscribe to any YouTube channel, if the person, that particular person, if he posts anything in the YouTube, I will immediately will get the recommendation that because I subscribe to his channel. What if I am not subscribed to that particular channel? I will not get the video. Yes or no? This is how the WhatsApp groups, WhatsApp messages, Instagram messages, YouTube videos, the subscriptions, all this is working. This concept, this is the real world concept basically. This concept is known as an application for message exchanges. Okay, message exchanges. Like how if I am sending the message to you in the WhatsApp, you can see the message. Okay. Another example also I will give you. I am sending the 100 message to you in the WhatsApp and your internet is off. But after 2 to 3 hours, if you switch on if you just on your internet, all the 100 messages will be delivered to you. Yes or no? All the 100 messages will be delivered to you. When I am sending the message, you are not in the online. But once you come to the online, my messages will come to you directly. My question is, in between me, you are sending 100 messages. 100 messages you are sending. But my internet is off. Okay, once on the internet, all the messages will be delivered to me. My question is, where these 100 messages are saving? In between you and me, somewhere these messages are staying. They're taking some rest until you switch on, you just on your internet. So all these concepts, you can say, these WhatsApp concept, Instagram concept, YouTube concept is known as a message exchange applications. So this is the project we are going to do. Once completing the Python basics, second intermediate Python and production level Python, we are going to develop such a very good application which you can't see in the internet. This application will be not visible in the medium blocks, you can say, in the YouTube, anywhere, because this application we are working for in the industry. Currently in my companies we are working from the last 3 to 4 years. Okay, so such a heavy and very good application we will develop. So that's why we are learning, not only learning Python, not only assignments, not only these things, not only mock interviews, but also application development. So first Python, then data science and data analysis tools. Okay, data science and data analysis tools, which means NumPy. Next one, pandas. Next one, matplotlib. Next one, seaborn. These 4 tools we are going to learn. Okay, these 4 tools we are going to learn definitely. Okay, why we are going to learn these 4 tools? Because just now I have given the information here. 50% of the data content you will understand using this Python, and using these 4 tools you will understand, and also you can clean the data. Whatever the data that you are collecting as a data engineer, whatever the data he is collecting, the data will be not at all good. Okay, so the data will be very, very, very bad. I'm telling you. Okay, so as a data analyst, you need to clean the data. So these things also we will learn, like feature engineering, using some feature engineering techniques. Okay, using some kind of feature selection techniques. Okay, we are going to learn this particular techniques like cleaning the data, improving the performance of the data, and checking that statistical approach is going or not. Okay, statistics also we are going to learn, which is required. So these four tools are mandatory. Okay, these four we will be learning. And then as I told you in the demo sections, then we will be learning SQL. I think lot of people knows, right, guys? What is the meaning of SQL? How many of you know? Structured query language. So what SQL will do? As I told you in the demo, I don't know all the people has seen the demo or not, but once again I will tell you, SQL is nothing but the mediator between the human being and the database. As a human being, here is the database. Just now I told you here, data engineer, what he is doing, he is collecting the data and keeping in the database. How the data engineer will keep the data in the database? He can't take his hand and keep it in the database. It is impossible. No, how can he can insert the data in the database? So imagine he is the data engineer. For example, he is the data engineer. He got the data from some external sources. Some external source. So using SQL is the mediator between the user and the database. Data engineer using SQL, he will insert the data into database. And if the data engineer wants anything, for example, here the data analyst. Okay, what this data analyst will do? Data engineer will keep the data in the company database. So using SQL, I'm keeping the data in the database, inserting. As a data analyst, I need the data. So I will ask SQL. SQL will go to the database, will collect, and will give to me. See here, two different things. He is saving in the database using SQL. Your data analyst is collecting the data from the database using SQL. So SQL is the mediator between the database and a person who are using. So SQL we are going to learn. And also, as I said, Tableau and Power BI. These two tools will be used to develop the dashboards, these kind of dashboards, understanding the data in a better way, and to develop the dashboards for the clients. We will be using these two tools. Some companies will use Tableau, some companies will use Power BI for developing the dashboard. But here we will learn Tableau, and then we will learn Power BI. See, as I told you, like there are a lot of things in the market. Okay, we will select the best one, which is trending. So Tableau and Power BI are the trending. So these two tools, lot of companies are using. So we will learn these two tools. And if you want the trending category, sir, I want to see which is really trending. How can you see the trending? So go to the Google Trends. Click on Explore. I want to see which is important. See, in India, In India, I am checking not the past day, from the last 12 months, from the last 1 year. It's all the in all the categories. Which one? W, Power BI. Okay, Power BI. Which one? Which one is making high? W or Power BI? See, W is using by 56 companies almost. Power BI is using by 40 companies. So this is from the last 12 months. But let's see from the past 4 hours. See, almost they are reaching. Power BI is reaching to the W also. So most of the companies are also using Power BI. You can see every minute analysis. You can see November 16th 2023 at 5:39, 26 people are using W and 25 people are using Power BI. See, clear analysis is there, a clear analysis. So based upon these Google trends, we will be learning, both are important. So we will be learning W and Power BI. And then we are going to learn Excel as well. Excel. So these are the things we are going to learn for the data analysis. And then for the data scientist people who are here, after this, we will be going to the machine learning, deep learning, NLP, and for the processes. Okay, that's a different story. This is completely analysis part. Okay, so this is how we are going to learn all the things in a very clear way. Okay, guys, clear now? Understood till here, everyone? Are you following me? Am I able to tell you clearly? Good. Now the question is, where we are starting? We are starting with Python. Okay, Python we are starting. The question is, why Python? Why only Python? Do you know how many languages are there in the market? Lot of languages. For example, Python is there, and lot of people knows about the word Java, Python. So let's see the Google trends. See, Python is using by 72 people, Java is using by 68. Then why you are not learning Java? So, sir, you can ask me like, sir, here you are telling me both are almost becoming same. So we will learn the both the things. Then here also, if we see Python and Java is almost same in the market, then why we are learning only Python? Why we are not learning Java? Yes or no? Lot of students will get this question. Why we are learning only Python? Why we are focusing on Python? Okay. So that particular concept. Okay. That particular concept. For example, let's say, why Python? Why Python? Before that, you need to understand history of programming languages. Okay, history of programming languages. So for example, what is the meaning of programming languages here? For example, Python is a programming language, Java a programming language. But you need to understand, like, see guys, what I'm saying is, if whatever you are learning, you need to know why you are learning, first of all. So why we are not using Java? Why we are using only Python? So that's what history means. That's what history means. So the history will be starting from 1972. From the 1972. Okay. From the 1972 till now. What happened? Why this Python is becoming very famous? After 5 years, very clearly I'm saying, like, after 5 years, if minimum knowledge also not there in Python, it is very hard to get the job, an IT job. Why this much revolution? Why it is compared to last 30 years? Why this much difference is coming? All this concept we will be learning in the next section. Since it is the first section, so I'm not going hours and hours. Okay. Next, after completing the history of Python, we will learn what is IDLE. I think there are 2 to 3 students or many students, I don't know exactly, like they have worked a little bit about Google Collaboratory in the drive. Yes or no? Yes or no, guys? I think few people are there. ID in the you work little bit about this Google Collaboratory. Okay, fine. My question for these candidates is: do anyone know what is the meaning of this IDLE? What is the meaning of this IDLE? What is the meaning of Google Colab? Okay, so that's why we are developing each and everything from the scratch here. So tomorrow we will be learning the history, then how to install the Python software. Okay, then what is the meaning of IDLE? Why you are using the Google Collaboratory? Why everyone is using the Google Collaboratory? What is the meaning of Google Collaboratory? Each and everything we'll be learning tomorrow. And then we will be starting the first basics Python classes very clearly. Okay. So now guys, if you have any doubts still here in the introduction or in the course, okay, anything, you are very much free to ask. Okay. You are very much free to ask, guys. Yeah. Guys, have any doubts?